cares what happens to it.
Facts.
Yo.
And then you'll end up on like
Carfax.
Well, hello there, big bad Bradley.
How's it going, big dog? I'm live now, pistol. But if you want to go ahead and raid, or if you want to hang on to it, that's cool too. It's your call.
Or you can do the knock feature too.
Yes, that's also a possibility. There's all kinds of options, really.
I'm working on a house that is 3,900.
Sorry, my Alexa
square foot.
What's going off? It's super loud.
Just letting you know I'm live now.
You ready?
Letting you know I'm live.
Just letting you know I'm live.
For the ones wondering, I am live.
I'm alive because I was born, and I have not died yet. And I
Did you
intend to
say?
keep it that way.
Did you say wounds wandering?
Juan's wondering.
What?
We're a little bit silly right now, I think.
Wonder of waffling?
Dude, I am so fucked.
Ooh. Can I watch?
This is nothing anybody wants to see, I'll be honest.
Oh, however you look. Why? What's wrong? What happened?
No, I'm just like, I am so discombobulated at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Like when it's me,
I mean, if you're tired and stuff.
when it's me, you don't even have to stress like that, bro. Because like, I don't have a life, right? And then like, I'm fine to just wait till whenever you wake up. So you.
And I'm live.
So you just don't have to like. You don't even have to stress if you wake up late, bro. It's all good. Just take your time and just let me know you're late. You know.
No,
I mean, that way.
That's
especially as like someone who's involved with this stream schedule, we don't want it to like hurt people's lives.
No. I appreciate the grace, but
I'm too tired sometimes, dude. I wake up on a Saturday morning and I'm just like, dude, I'm fucking too tired to do this.
Yeah. But this is self-inflicted. This is not.
Well, isn't it?
He's not living up to his own standard.
Yeah. I'm very irritated at myself.
Yeah, I mean, but at least it's because other people might be irritated with you too if it was somebody else, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
But at least you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
I think most of the people that would have gotten mad for not receiving a raid are no longer here.
Agreed.
Actually,
you know, and that was one of my points. Like when I was telling the 3POC, I was like, yes, we need to like make sure it happens 100% of the time. But if it doesn't happen to me, I'm never mad. Like it's like I'm always happy when it happens. But it's not like it's not the only reason why I'm on the schedule.
It shouldn't be your main reason you're on the schedule. Growing your content should be your main focus. Period.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
I'm just trying to
growing your brand should be your focus.
Get bigger and better.
Yeah, like not.
No, but I would be like 15 minutes late because I was like finishing up a giveaway or something, and like I'd get these like angry ass messages, and I'm like, bro, like you could have hopped in my chat and you would like know what I'm doing. You could have hopped in my Twitch and you would have seen that we're wrapping up. Like you didn't have to like go like all angry at me. You know, like I'm still going to raid you, but if you bitch at me again, I won't.
Yeah, some people just start at like the worst place.
Like you understand, if you yell at me for raiding you, it's never gonna happen again.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, that's
no, but
ridiculous.
You know,
like if you here's the thing. The philosophy on that is if you're literally standing around waiting to be raided, like you're putting the cart in front of the horse. Like you should be you're focusing on the wrong things. You should be focusing on being entertaining
talking to your fucking people in your chat.
Yeah, and then like that dude, that is crazy.
Ever since I could remember, I've been popping my collar, popping my collar.
Well, that's why we tried to just like reinforce it. It's a voluntary program. Like, like we're doing it because everybody wants to do it because it helps everybody.
Yeah, bro. I asked repeatedly to get. You know what I mean? It's not like they'd be like, you're gonna stream this time, this time. I was like, yo,
Yeah,
can
and you're
I?
not gonna get fired if you miss a slot or something like that.
You just call me a slut?
Yeah. If anything, like someone will reach out and be like, "Hey, what's up? Just making sure you're okay." And then
Yeah.
like, so sometime my response was like, "Dude, my bad. I got drunk. I stayed up to 4 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up at 2. I just slept right through it."
Yeah.
No excuse. No excuse.
Pistol, I don't want to gloss over the fact of like you giving me that giving me
No, yeah, yeah. You
that
said you
grace.
appreciate it. I got you, Doc. I got you.
Yeah, I didn't mean like my irritation or whatever is
No, I got you.
because of
I got
me.
you.
It's like no, like it is all truly like letting people down. I do not fuck with that. Especially whenever I say I'm gonna do something, and I don't do it, that really pisses me off because it's like anyway. I mean, it's not like I wasn't.
It just goes on the tally, dog, and if you keep a tally, it will eventually, if that number gets big enough, it'll really get to you. I get it.
Yeah,
that's
well, the
one of
tally's
things I
one.
don't do in my personal life is like I don't like I have a scoreboard like you said this to me, you said that to me. Now it's 3-1. Like
Yeah,
I
well, it's
try
a
my best not to hold grudge.
yeah. I wish I didn't. I wish I held grudges towards myself the way that I hold grudges towards other people.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Because
we're
yeah,
the worst to ourselves, dog.
yeah,
That's it.
I'm much more forgiving of other people than I am to myself.
Custom, can you buy boss fighter tokens?
I haven't tried.
Okay. Okay. Still waiting for free fall then.
Someday your prince will come.
I know.
Yeah, I just haven't tried yet.
I feel like Rapunzel just waiting here with my hair dangling down, trying to
No,
gain some
no,
boss
you're
fighter
you're like
tokens.
Rapunzel waiting at the photo hut. She said, "Someday my prince will come." People nowadays don't get that joke. They're like, "What's a what? What's a photo hut?"
What'd you call me?
Really?
I got a
don't
comic
e-
key.
They don't sell
Well-
disposable cameras anymore.
I mean, they actually do, mostly at like theme parks and stuff.
What do you mean they don't sell You can buy disposables.
Yeah.
If they're disposable, then don't you have to go to like a?
Anymore, you just take them to the drugstore.
I'm stepping over
Let me
your
go
joke.
check Amazon.
I'm a
No,
piece of shit.
no, no. Anymore, you just take it to the drugstore, though. Yeah. There's no more. There's no more like Kodak photo huts.
Yeah, so when I was interviewing this person, I told
Yeah,
like,
you
they
can still
told
get
me
them
that
at
their house was
Walmart,
insured for
Amazon.
like 880,000, and I told them right on the phone call, I was like, you should probably be insured for about 1.3 million, and then I just did the whole report. They're at 1.35 million. Yeah, they're under fucking insured. And I don't even have like all of the shit in here. Because I know they have like the size of the house is gonna have a 400 amp electrical service, not a 200. So it's gonna have a 400 amp custom. Their exterior wall studs are gonna be 2x6s because it was built in 1996. That's gonna be exterior stud
Did he forget to
framing
mute?
2x6, not 2x4.
Oh no, he's telling us.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I sounded like you were talking business.
I am. I'm working on 400 or 4,000 square foot home right now. What's
We've
called
been-
a dwelling replacement cost.
We've been having quite an insurance conversation.
Gotcha.
I work all day,
Yeah, that.
so
yeah.
I'll just pop around Discord.
He just
There-
works.
There were parts of it that were less work
Sometimes
sounding.
he twerks. But mostly just works.
He twerks at work.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that you have to do to get a house done right. And this guy has a huge, really nice, really fancy, like all brick, 4,000 square foot home, and it's insured like a shed.
Insured like a shed, like a she shed.
And I knew it, so that's when I interview someone and I see how bad your insurance policy is, even before I get into it. I kind of warn you that I'm going to send you the reports and all the information that I found, but it's probably going to be a little bit different than how you're currently insured. Because people just are insured with absolute garbage.
Yeah, I can see how it's something that people gloss over. A lot of people
Well, a
don't
lot
like
of so most the most often thing that happens is during a home closing, you're buying the house. So let's say the house is selling for $300,000. The most common thing to do is the insurance agent will sell you a policy for $300,000 for your mortgage amount, so you can get through closing. But that's not how much it costs to rebuild the house, including removing the damaged structure, the cost of rebuilding, titles, permits, taxes, fees, construction overhead, and builder profits. Like, like all of that is part of rebuilding your home. So we're not trying to buy your home, so we don't insure for your market value, because market value is very subjective. You can take my house, drop it in the inner city of Detroit, now it's worth 20,000. You can take my exact same house and drop it on the shores of Lake Michigan, now it's worth 1.2 million. So we're not talking about a market value. We need to rebuild your home,
so
including demolishing the old one.
why is it that they do that?
Insurance policies are what they call indemnity policies, which means you are not supposed to profit nor suffer from a loss. You're supposed to be made whole again, like the loss never happened. So the replacement cost on your home condition at the time of loss, you have two options. You can either enforce the replacement costs, which would be the like, kind, and quality reconstruction of your home with modern building materials and techniques. So you would get a very similar style and construction of a home that you lost prior to the loss, because you're supposed to be made whole again. But it's going to be all brand new stuff. You know, they're not going to put like old carpet in there. And then your other option would be to take the cash outs, which would be the market value at the time of the loss minus your deductible. So they would, you know, if the market value at the time of the loss was 250,000, they would cash you out 250 if you didn't want to rebuild. But if you wanted to rebuild, you'd have a $300,000 dwelling limit plus any increased cost endorsements that would be there. And then you could sell a brand new, fully rebuilt 2025 construction house, and you'd probably profit more, or you could live in it yourself. So you do have options, but home insurance policies, the definition of them are replacement cost policies. They are. You can buy other policy forms. You know, you can buy a repair cost policy. You know, you can buy a market value policy, but the traditional home insurance policy are replacement cost. And like a repair cost policy would be someone who buys a house in Detroit, where the replacement cost might be $500,000, but you bought the house for 30,000. So no one wants to insure you because it's called adverse selection, where you could buy a shitty house, burn it down, and
The
now I have
juice
to build
isn't
you a
worth the
$500,000
squeeze.
house.
Yeah, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You'll never make back that. Like,
Yep. So you would qualify for what's called a functional replacement cost or a repair cost policy, which says we're not going to rebuild it the house as it stands. We're going to rebuild it like a shitty house. You know,
right.
you know, we're not going to rebuild like, you know, a 1920s brick frickin' mansion. We're going to build like a, you know, a tube and stick, you know, little, you know, frame house, and it's, you know, for 100,000 instead.
Right.
Yeah, so you can get a different style of policy, but it just depends on the property. But a lot of people who buy those houses in Detroit want the good policy, so it can accidentally burn down.
Yeah, I imagine that happens quite a lot. Actually, I know that
Yeah.
happens. In I'm pretty sure it's Michigan. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so what we would do on a policy like that is a market value. So you would get like the the cost of the home minus the cost of land, and that'd be your market value for the home. And so like you would have a dwelling limit of like 30 or 40,000. It would help with, but so the cool thing about that is you would still get replacement cost for partial losses. So we would like replace your kitchenette replacement cost, but for a total loss, you only get like the 50,000.
Hmm.
And it helps with people who are doing those, like buying these areas up and like trying to like live in them, and hoping these neighborhoods revitalize. So it helps a lot of those like new homeowners and people who are just flipping properties.
Right.
Yeah, but you can definitely make insurance cheaper. Just do what Captain does. Just don't buy it.
Shit.
No, but I own
For
my
s-
house, and I know if my house burnt down, I can't afford to like buy another one. So
Mm-hmm.
without the equity in this one, I can't afford to just go buy another one.
Right. Yeah, I think people just they find the topic boring and or anxiety spiking. So
So that's where I think a really cool insurance game could be fun. Like, cause honestly, there's a lot of crazy shit that happens in insurance, and like I think they would be fun little story quests and stuff that could be like weaved into a game like Oblivion.
gamify it. I think that'd be a great idea.
You're like a medieval insurance adjuster.
I think that I think that is a actual brilliant idea.
Gotta solve like fraud cases and arson cases and shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. If you game,
authorized payments,
yeah.
break people's kneecaps for not paying their premiums.
If you could sneak in education inside of a
Well,
an
that would be the
actual
thing is you would have to actually know policy language. Like the quest
yeah
line would be based on actual policy language and shit.
yeah. It's like how basically, how women have basically a PhD in forensic science now because of how many like murder, like CSI cases that they know, like that they've been watching. It's like, or how they're, how every girl basically has a PhD in film theory because of all the Instagram pictures that they take with their
Or witchcraft
girlfriends.
because of Charmed and all of those like wizardry stuffs.
Yeah, yeah. I
Not
mean,
everyone's a certified Wiccan.
if you if you can like, I mean, from a game perspective, if you can like prioritize entertainment first and then education second, they're definitely going to learn. But you want to make sure that they like stay inside of the ecosystem and
Well, yeah, it'd be like while you're on a quest line, it'd be like the same thing as checking your quest journal. You'd be like, I gotta check the policy language. Let's see if there's an exclusion for this. This guy's, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's a
I think
great
it could be
idea.
done really. I think the insurance, what could be done really fun with the right setting.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I
I mean,
think
they make Law and Order. I was like, come on, like you guys made courtrooms fun supposedly. Like,
insurance, taxes. I mean, there's a whole lot of topics that um, every adult shouldn't just be like aware of, but they should be fluent in that the education system for whatever reason just decided to gloss over. Um, yeah, I think that's a great idea.
42,000 ring. So this is ring. Agreed value, yes.
Kyle, what's going on, man?
Now I'm scheduling property. I'm scheduling high valued items on the policy because your home and renter's insurance have exclusions or reductions in coverage for jewelry, watches, furs, sports equipment, fine arts, antiques, collectibles,
Mm-hmm.
like stamp collections or cash, because those types of items are really prone to a lot of like theft, disappearance, and fraud. So your policy has exclusions for theft, disappearance, and fraud.
Yeah.
So you want to add jewelry specifically to the policy to get around the limitations, and then you'd put an agreed value on it. So like this lady has a $40,000 diamond ring. So you'd want to put it an agreed value for 40,000. So if anything happens to it, no deductible, she gets her $40,000 ring back.
See,
But if she doesn't schedule it and just relies on her home insurance policy, she might only get like 1,000 for it.
so like how there's got to be so much insurance scamming that goes un I guess accounted for or there's got to be a whole bunch of insurance fraud that is like we were just talking about how I there's
No,
people
it's
who
very
probably
easy to
have
do.
like a PhD in insurance scams. Not like, people who are like, trying to get someone to rear end them in their car or whatever, but like actual like how do you insure
Yeah, like
a
causing
diamond
damage.
ring?
So there's a like like you go up to your cottage and there's a bunch of damage and you say a raccoon did it instead of a mouse
Or
because
you have it
raccoons aren't included because they're bears.
yeah. I get yeah.
So raccoons don't fall under the vermin and infestation and nesting exclusions that mice, rats, and birds and bats do. So
Mhm.
you say it was a raccoon because it's a bear. My cabin was attacked by a bear. It was a raccoon, and so like it's like things like that. Like you can't necessarily prove, but like you know
Or like
that it
okay,
was or wasn't a raccoon, but
let's say you give your wife a $300,000 ring or whatever, and then um you pay somebody to like steal it
you
from
sell
her.
it you sell it privately. You sell it in a private sale, and then you do an insurance claim for a theft or something.
A private sale.
Like a private sale. Like I tell my buddy, like I'm gonna sell you this $300,000 ring for 200,000. I sell it to you for cash, unrecorded, and then I tell my insurance company that my wife was gardening and ring fell off her finger and we can't find it.
Right. So how did the insurance company
They pay the
like
claim.
they what?
They pay the claim.
They
They can't
pay
prove anything. They pay the claim.
so
So that causes all of our that causes mine and your premiums to go up because people are fucking scamming it.
that sounds like bullshit.
Yeah, anytime someone like gets into an accident and says their neck hurts when it doesn't, and they blame a previous injury, that's huge in auto accidents. Like you
Yeah.
need a neck surgery, so you get into a fucking accident, and you're like, "Oh my goddamn neck!" Ah, and then
Yeah.
you make the auto insurance pay for it, and
Well,
that's a scam. And
so
people
that
do it every day.
right. And so what I'm saying is there's got to be like there's a counterweight to like balance that out. Like are they like
Yeah,
after that?
it's called like our education system, our morality system, our public. Like we're supposed to be good people. Like we're supposed to teach people in our communities not to be like thieves and liars and scam artists, but we don't.
No, no, no,
But as
no.
far as insurance, if we cannot, if like you can't go up to everyone has a claim and be like, you're fucking lying to me. No, we have like there has to be a reason to suspect that you're, you know, not telling the truth. And they investigate, right? If you say like like oh this person never drives my car, they just borrowed it once, and then we ask your neighbors and they're like, oh, that guy drives the car every single fucking day, 5 times a day. They're like, well, that's that's different than he never drives my car, right? So like you weren't telling the truth about the usage. So like they will investigate.
So like how many? I mean, because the back end of insurance, is there like your account has to start getting flagged at a certain point if you keep like filing claims of things going missing or
Yeah, so you have what's called an insurance score. It's reported through the LexisNexis, and they have all of your loss history
mm-hmm.
and like any other rating data that they're legally allowed to gather. Because they can't do like married versus single, or if you're a college graduate, they're not allowed to use credit scoring anymore. Or at least in my state, can't use credit scoring anymore. So LexisNexis gathers all of the relevant rating data, including talking to the Secretary of State to get like your MBRs, and
Mm-hmm.
then all of the insurance companies also report to the same reporting agency if they file claims. So like if you file a claim on State Farm and then move over to AAA, when AAA goes to sell you the policy, they'll run the reports and they're going to see that you filed a claim with State Farm. They're going to see it. And so then they'll ask you about that claim if you didn't disclose it. And then, because the claim has to be closed. Like I'm not going to, we can't sell you a new policy if your other claim's still open and your house is still damaged.
Right.
Or if there's like an ongoing lawsuit, like you're suing your insurance company, that's, it makes it difficult to start a new policy because you have a claim that's not closed in a pending litigation. But we can see that stuff. And I can see like who lives in your house and who, all the cars, all the people, their driver's license number, their birthdays, and all the cars registered to your house. So when I ask you a question like, who do you live with? And you say, I live alone. And I see that you live with like 8 people. I'm not going to call you a liar, but I might have some follow-up questions.
Right. So, this I'm seeing from my perspective, I'm seeing a giant potential for plausible deniability in the form of it wouldn't be necessarily a double blind study, but it would be a single blind study, or I guess a single party blind study, where, okay, let's say again, husband, wife was given a $300,000 ring, and then someone came and like stole the ring from her, and so she's like, but the husband orchestrated all of it, but the wife has no idea, so she's like going through the claim process, and like she's actually like genuinely innocent. She thinks that she's been, robbed and whatnot, when the whole thing was orchestrated by the husband. And then, I mean, you could put her on a lie detector test, and she genuinely believes that, she's
Well, here's an even easier example of a claim that got paid. This gentleman had a brand new, like 2025 Ford F-350, like an $80,000 truck, and it needed its first oil change. So he went into the kitchen, got some cooking oil, and put like 2 gallons of cooking oil into his brand new Ford F-350.
holy shit.
About 20 miles later, his engine blew up.
Yeah.
And he filed a claim under comprehensive for his $250 deductible to get his $30,000 engine replaced. And they covered it because there's no exclusion for stupidity. And there was no way to prove that he intentionally sabotaged his engine with cooking oil. He claimed that it was an accident, that he accidentally put he said put oil in there, so he put oil in it. And we covered that. So
yeah, that sounds man, I would be so much more interested if I could join a insurance conglomerate that like didn't like that wasn't subservient to the lowest common denominator of society. Like,
so that's what an independent insurance agent is. So we represent like 10 different insurance companies, and we pick and choose which companies we have contracts with. But also, you can't get contracts with the good companies if you're a piece of shit. So we have the highest rated insurance companies in our state. So I specialize on doing things like $4 and $5 million homes, not people who with DUIs and lapses of insurance.
right.
Because we have the best companies.
Right.
So then we spend a lot of time educating ourselves towards issuing those types of policies.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a club.
Well, there's 2 different types of insurance agencies. There's a captive, which would be like State Farm, AAA, Allstate. State Farm can only sell State Farm. Allstate can only sell Allstate. AAA can only sell AAA. They cannot sell any other products. Then there's those are called captive agencies. Then there are independent agencies like myself who are physically appointed, hold physical contracts with independent companies who only work with independent agents. because they want an agent that has multiple companies. So I have like Citizens, Auto Owners, Pioneer, Progressive, Haggerty, Grange, Foremost. They want to work with me because they're trusting me to put the right client with them. Because if they like, if they like yachts and big ass houses and perfect credit scores and 0 tickets and 0 accidents, they're hoping that I don't put someone with them that's got 5 speeding tickets, a DUI, and like all sorts of problems. Because that's not their target client. Like that, whereas Progressive loves people like that. Progressive will sell auto insurance to anybody that has a car. So our job is to figure out what your needs are and then put you with the company that wants to sell you insurance, because that will have you the best coverages for you, and it'll also have the best price for you because they're looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're a captive agency, you kind of have to be a more of like the clothing or the hats that are like one size fit all, like like one size fit all pants, one size fit all shirt.
Yeah, it's the difference between like paying for a lawyer and having the state like issue you an attorney if you can't provide yourself one.
And we're
Like,
not, and we're by no means more expensive because we actually place you with specialty companies. You know,
mm-hmm.
and usually we place you with regional carriers. So like in Michigan, we would place you with like a company that has a headquarters in Michigan, because we don't pay claims for California wildfires, and we don't pay claims when Florida is underwater, or New Orleans has tornadoes or hurricanes. We only pay claims when Michigan has a shitty winter. So we place with regional carriers that don't have to raise their rates when California catches on fire next time.
So when you file a claim, your credit, and it's like, the checks and balances are all there, everything's, above board. You didn't, no fraud, regardless if it is fraud or not, no fraud was detected, and the insurance company has to pay out. Their credit score is untouched, and their
Insurance is not has nothing to do with credit, because credit is borrowing money. So like your credit score would be is a predictive factor of the likelihood that you would pay me back if I lend you money.
I'm sorry,
Your
like your insurance, like basically,
Yeah,
like
your
all of the
insurance score.
all. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so your insurance score is the predictive factor of the likelihood that you would file a claim if I
Mhm.
sell you a policy. And one of the biggest predictive factors if you're going to file a claim is if you've already filed a claim.
Yeah. Okay, so there's no
Because
skirting
it's
that.
statistically proven that subsequent claims, the frequency and severity increase drastically with every subsequent claim. After you file your first claim, you're like 95% more likely to file a second claim. After you file that second claim, you're almost guaranteed to file a third, because you learned how to play the game.
Right.
You learned where the money comes from.
Yeah.
And so they do keep track of that, and it does increase your rates. The more claims you file, the more policy increases you will get. And then certain companies have thresholds. Like if you have more than 3 claims in a 5-year period that total more than $3,000, you're not eligible at this company. You have to go somewhere else, not file claims for a couple of years, and then come in.
Yes, but that's just like a slap on the wrist, right? That's like a revolving door. You just like, okay, it's on. That's like having an ability on cooldown. It's
Yep.
like free money
Pretty much.
every couple years.
They're literally trying to track your luck. They're trying to see how lucky you are.
Yeah, but some people
Good
make
luck
their
or
own
bad luck.
luck.
It's all luck, and what they're literally trying to do is figure out, are you lucky or are you unlucky?
Yeah. God, that just seems so manipulated. Like it's so much potential to be manipulated when you really break it down. Again, like
all sorts of stuff to try to hide and manipulate their insurance, absolutely. And me as a family-owned agency and a third-generation agent, and I'm on salary. I don't even make commission, so it doesn't even matter if you buy the policy from me or not. I'm gonna do one thing. I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna show you what you're supposed to purchase, and then you can make your own decision. You can decide whether to keep your crappy insurance or to continue talking to me why mine is so much different than your current policy.
Yeah, no, this is no like what I'm saying is no like mark on
Well,
your
no,
end.
I'm just on my moral. I'm just on the the talking post there.
Yeah.
But it's just because I think that's a difference between just agents in general. Because fully commissioned agents, your motivation is to get paid. Otherwise, you don't eat.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times they are undercutting prices. They're taking coverages off the policy that should not be taken off because they have to be the cheapest to make the sale. And
Right.
that's in their mind, and that's the way they've been trained is I have to be the cheapest to make the sale. And I don't know if you've ever bought a car or like a house or something like that. You don't always buy the cheapest car on the lot, and you don't always buy the cheapest house that's for sale. You buy the one that suits your needs. And there's a difference between cheap and getting a good deal.
Very much so.
Sometimes I have to explain it to people like hot dogs, right? Like when you go shopping for hot dogs, do you go call 10 different stores and ask them for the cheapest hot dog they sell? I don't care what meat it is. I don't care what country it comes from. It just has to be called a hot dog. No, it's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a. We're already
It's just
talking about
hard
a
to see the
questionable
difference in
product.
quality in insurance. And especially when so many insurance agents are just fucking scumbags.
Oh, I know it's a real I won't say sensitive topic for you, but it's a topic that you hold a lot of pride in. So I can totally understand why you have that perspective. But there's just shitty people in every walk of life, every um, that dichotomy of humans. That there's people who take a lot of pride in what they do, and then there's a lot of and there will be people who take a lot of pride in not being a decent human being. Like they take pride in that. So,
Well, that's one of the things too is if you grow up robbing and stealing and cheating, you just assume that everybody else is robbing and cheating and stealing. Like you can't grasp the concept of somebody would return someone's wallet with the money in it.
it's tough. Yeah, that is a tough situation. Um,
It's
uh,
just because if you grew up around that, you just assume that no matter where you're at, that's what everybody does. You just assume that's how people are.
or not just that, but you've been educated or rather indoctrinated by the people around you that it's okay to steal from these people. Like doing bad things is justifiable to certain
Yeah, they go to
groups of
work to
people.
get their money. We're going to work to get their money too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. The whole system's rigged, and so it's just our turn to be up. God, there was one. I'll never forget it. There was a It's probably 10 years old now. It was a news report of um a breaking and entering story on the news, and the kid who broke into the house got shot by the owner, and then uh, they were interviewing people in his I guess community or something, and they were saying that it was the homeowner was in the wrong for shooting the person who broke into their house. It's their logic was how is he supposed to get money for his for his school clothes if he didn't rob uh their house? And that line of thinking is so fucked. I don't know if it's salvageable. I was It was really mind opening for me, and I'm not doing the story justice at all. I'd have to pull up the article, but I just remember it was like it was it made me realize that like not everybody has not everybody's sense of moral compass is the same. And yeah, man, that there's a wide percentage of the population that thinks like that, and I fear that it's getting more and more.
I've been riding my bicycle out and around my town, and I've been meeting about one homeless person a day, and like I'll just give them like a pop, some, like something they need, like I'll buy them some like socks or something. I won't give them cash, but I'll give them like some shit they need, like a backpack,
Yeah.
some pop, food. They keep on saying like, "Why are you doing this?" Like, and I was like, "I don't want anything. I just being nice." He's like, no one ever he's like, no one will even talk to me, like, cause like where I live, like everyone sticks their nose in the air, like
Yeah.
pretend like you don't exist,
Mm-hmm.
and just like I was like, like all these people driving around with all their fucking money, and no one can just even stop and see if this person needs fucking help.
Yeah.
I understand like people are just like terrified of homeless people. You don't want to get stabbed or get AIDS or something, but it's just like that.
That's a good excuse.
I was talking to these guys though, and they're just really just, you can tell that there's something mentally wrong where they're not like able to make the right decisions, and no one's helped them.
Yeah.
It's
so
they're
so
just
sad.
wandering around with a fucking backpack.
It's so fucking sad, man.
But I've been, I was super actually surprised when I started going on these bike rides, like how frequently I was finding like homeless people in this area. And I know all like the cool little spots where you can like plug in your phone and get free water, and like all the public bathrooms and restrooms, and so I can actually like guide them to like this little park that's got like a nice bathroom that you can like get all your stuff charged, cleaned up,
Yeah, that's one of
I'm gonna buy some tents. I'm trying to find some like cheap, small, like single person tents that aren't just complete junk, and then when I go on bike rides, I'll just throw those in my backpack too.
a big one is like if you bought socks in bulk, that's some of the most overlooked, underrated, highest like juice to squeeze value that you can give a homeless person is a new pair of socks.
That's why I have like a 1 gallon Ziploc bag that I usually carry with me, and it'll have like 3 pairs of socks, some fresh underwear, some fresh T-shirts, like a bar of soap, some mouthwash, a toothbrush, some toothpaste, like a little thing of Advil, like a little thing of a little thing of like Claritin or whatever, like non-drowsy,
Mm-hmm.
So I have like just this like little tiny bag, and then I'll have like a lighter, a can opener, some other like little shit they need, and like that'll be like my little like drop off bag.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Because you have like like it's at first like like a lot of people are like, oh, like I wanted money or I wanted food or whatever, but then like like you said, like you actually like slip on that pair of socks, and like like you like have a lighter to start a fire when you're cold, or you got a can opener so you can actually eat that fucking canned food.
Yeah.
Just some stuff to help.
It's fucking sad, man. That's even. It's sad that we live in a system where we're taxed, and that isn't just like automated. The fact you have to go out of your way to do this when we live in a society that doesn't take care of these people is man.
Well, that's why I quit one of the biggest charities in the world, because they kept on saying like we're gonna like we need a new project to do, and they're like, let's send all this money to this country. Let's send thousands of dollars over here. Let's do thousands over there, and let's do this and that. And I was like, hey, I know where these like homeless guys are every single day. He's like 80 years old. He doesn't have legs, and he's like has a sign that he's begging for diabetes medicine. How about we go help them? And they just wouldn't do it. They just wouldn't fucking do it. Like the local chapters that live here, they're all talking about like all the good they do around the world. Just wouldn't fucking go help this dude with no fucking legs and diabetes.
It's like it's got to be elitism, right? It's got to be this like we don't help ourselves because we're Americans. Americans
But
don't need.
we're gonna send $5,000 to a country I can't pronounce that's like literally like at war with us.
There's something about that. There is something like there was I can't remember the exact situation. I want to say it was Hurricane Katrina. Mexico wanted to send aid. They sent aid to the border, asking to help America with like a natural disaster, and that we turned them away because like we would not accept their help, because we're the helpers. We don't help, we give help. And I think the logic in that is very it's a sense of superiority. The intent behind it is not virtuous, as in the goal is not to help people. It is merely a catalyst to project how powerful we are, and to also, I guess, peacock how virtuous we are. Does that make sense? Because if you were an actual good person, then there wouldn't be any like you said, we would help that guy on the street who doesn't have legs and needs diabetic medication. There wouldn't be that like blind spot. It would, and that's how you know that there's something going on. Anyway, yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't go to that dispensary anymore, but every time I went by that dispensary, I'd either like stop at the gas station or something like right there and like go grab him like a pop or a fucking drink or something, try to go grab him something on the way, give him a couple of bucks, but like that's a band-aid. Like what I was recommending was like we need to get a social worker to go down there, find where this fucking guy lives, get him like signed up for like Social Security or Medicaid or whatever. Like he needs help. Like he doesn't need my $2. He needs like a support system.
Yeah. Or hey, how about all this fucking taxes we spend? How about like some of that get like funded into?
Well, that's what it's like. How does this guy not on Social Security? How is he not on disability? Like how is he not like a part of these social programs that already exist? Like he needs help.
I don't get it, man. There is something truly evil about this. It's like shameful that it's ran like this. That this system is we're not as good as it.
Mail, or whatever, and like the guy is like homeless, so he can't answer mail.
Yeah, it's not about helping people. And that's where the nihilism comes from. The people who have lost faith in the system, it's not unjustified. I truly don't. It's totally justified.
Dude, tell me about it. Like, if you get caught camping out in front of the Social Security Administration trying to get disability or anything like that, they'll throw you in jail. It's like they should have like a little camp center right outside.
They said you wanted a warm bed and some free food, right? Come on in.
And Salvation Army has had the same 2,600 beds for like 30, 40 years, but yet the CEO drives a super nice car, has a bunch of super nice houses, and You know what I'm
So the
saying?
charity
And
Like,
that
that I was talking about is it's Rotary International, and they are like literally one of the best charities in the entire world because as every single dollar, every single penny donated to charity goes to charity. The
see,
whole
here in
organization,
Austin, that's Mobile Loaves and Fishes.
yeah, because the whole organization is run by dues-paying members. So I go to a chapter meeting on Tuesday, I give them $5. That runs the organization, and then all the donations go to actual charity.
Yeah,
So it's
Mobile
actually like
Loaves and Fishes
it's one of
is
the
the one
few
here
100%
that's run
pure
by a guy
nonprofits.
named Mike, and he's given
I do like
100% of his money that he's taken into the homeless of Austin. So,
Yeah, I do like the organization. My problem was with my local chapter not being able to inspire my local chapter to do something locally with our monies. That we had like $3,000 or $4,000 as 20 people in our chapter, and I just couldn't get them to like go help this like fucking homeless people on the streets. You know,
yeah, Mike even had a
and then they're like,
GoFundMe
oh, we're
set
gonna
up
spend five
for
hundred
him.
dollars on an Eagle Scout project. We're gonna put trail markers in a rich subdivision so rich people don't get lost walking their poodles. I was
Yeah,
like, well, how about we get that Eagle Scout to do something actual meaningful, like teaching people how to navigate the Medicaid system. Something that could actually help somebody with his life is teaching someone how to apply for Social Security or disability. I guess I'm the wrong type of Eagle Scout. But that, you're right. That trail post is so fucking important. I'm going to scrub what I'm doing on Saturday to go do that.
dude, they don't teach much in the Scouts anymore, man. To be honest, I'm very surprised at how little my kids know from Scouts at this point. Cause like by the time I was where they were at, man, I knew all kinds of shit. And I was like,
I think
yeah,
scouting's still really good in like the city of Detroit because those kids don't have any exposure to woods, water, like nothing. Like that's like the scouting is like their only time they're gonna get to go to like a park and like go outside and see a deer or something.
yeah, I feel like I've taught my kids more survival skills than Scouts have. But maybe that's how it should be. I don't know.
How do I insure a house that has asbestos?
Tell them to take the fucking asbestos out.
Yeah. He said, well, it's encapsulated. Well, he's buying a new house and it has encapsulated asbestos, a vermiculite insulation. So, vermiculite insulation is highly, highly known to contain the cancer-causing asbestos. Um, and so, what I recommended is that he has to get the asbestos tested. I don't care if it's encapsulated, because when your house burns down, we're going to need about $100,000 to fucking remove the asbestos. I would just not recommend buying a house that has asbestos.
Yeah, when I dismantle this manufactured home, I'm gonna be wearing full on gear because I have no idea what the fuck's in there.
Auto club, he's got some auto club. Do you know who Auto Club is?
What?
It's one of the biggest companies in the entire country. They're called Auto Club.
Sounds familiar, maybe.
AAA.
There you go. That sounds
Yeah.
more familiar.
Yep, they're Auto Club.
Yeah, I've had AAA on every car I've owned. It's fucking like I don't understand people that don't get it. I'm like, what? It's a free tow. Those are
Well,
expensive.
you have to pay $150 a year for the AAA membership.
Yeah, but some tows in Texas, it's very much worth it in Texas, man.
Well, comparatively, you can probably put it on an insurance policy like auto owners or citizens or progressive for about $15.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that and pay
But
that $15 or
I think Auto Club AAA is great roadside because it's not an
yeah,
insurance claim; it's a membership
exactly.
service, so it doesn't show up as a
Yeah,
claim, and it follows the
ex-
person, not the car. So you can be in
exactly.
someone else's car and file a claim.
Exactly. Yeah, when this bus gets up and running, guarantee I'll be paying for AAA.
Yep, I usually recommend people don't put roadside on their actual auto insurance policy. That if that's something you want, you're better off with a service club. And there's other ones besides AAA, but it keeps the claims off your record.
And since I'm yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you get like 5 or 6 towing claims and then something bad happens, now you got this fucking huge loss history. You know, got like now you got 7 claims on your fucking record. What day? Okay. Yeah, so now we're working on client number 2, who has asbestos in his house, or the house he wants to buy. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to
We have to do
get ready
Michigan.
for the day.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
I don't know why Twitch has such problems with their ad delivery service, but man, they have so many issues.
Bezos don't give a fuck.
Money would be my guess.
Yeah, Twitch has been messing up all day. I wonder, probably DDoS attacks or something. I don't know.
Do, 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 do.
Hmm.
Where are you moving to? Redford? Redford. Redford.
Who's moving?
Good choice. Get the fuck out of Ohio.
Happy
Moving out of
birthday to
Ohio. Get
actor
out of
and
there.
civil rights activist Laverne Cox, born on this day in 1972. She's the first openly transgender person to be nominated for a Primetime Emmy. She once said, "When you put love out in the world, it travels, and it can touch people and reach people in ways that we never even expected."
Thank you, Alexa.
Must be 10 o'clock.
You got your daily transgender news at 10?
Yes, sir. You know it.
I don't want to be transgender. I want to be multi-gender.
Hmm. Okay.
I'm a meat popsicle.
Basically, I'll have all the flavors.
I want it all, and I want it now.
I'm not a breeder, so it doesn't matter.
It's okay. I'm filling the
Captain's a
shoes
breeder.
for anybody who's not. So
Captain's a breeder. Ew, gross. They're multiplying.
I think I have some magnificent genes. Thank you very much. You wanna go to the party?
Rental car. Go
The
for it.
party of my pants?
I bet I can get this company to insure the home with vermiculite installation as long as we've added enough dwelling limit to cover the extra cost of remediation.
All I heard was blah blah blah. You're a dirty tramp.
Yeah, fucking asbestos, bro.
Mr. Deeds. That scene, for whatever reason, yesterday was stuck in my head. Actually, for like the last couple days. That exact scene of like the mom and his like romantic interest getting in a fight with each other. I don't know why, but yeah.
Interesting.
That's what you were referencing, right?
Yes, and tell me, how do you feel towards your father? Sorry, I can't stop quoting movies right now.
Oh, you good, man?
My brain does this every now and then. Wakes up and just starts going through all my favorite movie quotes. I don't know why. Fucking brain! It is somebody. I want to do stuff today, but my arm hurts. Oh god, picking up a cup of water hurts. Is that bad?
Master walls and ceilings.
I'll say one thing: it ain't good.
Ugh.
Boy, those are asbestos floor tiles in the basement too. Yay.
This guy wants to have cancer. He's got a death wish.
Well, most of these houses were built in like the 1940 to 1965, and so very, very, very common to have asbestos siding, floor tiles, or insulation in the home. And the lead water pipes, you know, the whole Flint water crisis, very, very common to have the lead water pipes. So
When they were purposefully killing Americans, you mean? Why is Twitch being so twitchy? Twitchy McTwitchers over here. My internet's running really good right now. I don't understand.
I don't understand.
He's so fast. He's like so fast right now. Ah. Oi. Chingao. Playing ranked over there? Brokeback, or you just kind of warming up?
Playing on an account with a lower elo, so a little bit of both. I'm playing rank, but with less stakes, if that makes sense.
Hell yeah. And you know how incredibly hard it is to get a hold of 5,940 boss fighter tokens right now?
How hard?
Well, I can't get them. This is frustrating, man. Can I just have a little liquidity, please? Please? Oh, man. Artifacts are holding their value pretty good where they're at. Anticipating TGE. Son of a biscuit. Why?
Flood zone 8E. You're in a flood zone too.
I would
Dollar
wait.
insurance.
Dwelling is ineligible due to construction materials containing asbestos. Great. Freaking great. So how much would this cost if it doesn't have asbestos? Ineligible flood zone. Can't get water backup either. Probably why this house is cheap. Got asbestos and it's in the flood zone.
All right.
Oh. I'm gonna make some work calls. I'll be back.
Have a good one, man. Okay.
Yep. So the guy with the asbestos home refused to have it inspected before he purchases the home, so I told him that we can't do business, unfortunately.
Unlucky.
'Cause I'm just the agent. I can only do what the insurance companies let me do, and they said it has to be inspected, so.
Them's the breaks.
Yep, and then I told him about my other company, Michigan Basic, that would have very, very basic coverage. And he said I can't do that. The mortgage company won't let me close with that. And I was like, well, I just highly recommend that whatever agent you talk to in the future, you're forthcoming about the vermiculite, because it's every single insurance company has the same
Rocket,
underwriting
why?
about that.
Why Rocket? What?
But it's very also easy just to forget to tell the next agent
What
you
we doing?
about
Bro,
that.
it's another wasted band.
Just depends on how bad you want the house. Are you willing to lie about it?
Am I getting fucked?
Hmm.
But not my problem anymore. I tried. I gave him the options. The options were not good enough. Okay, interesting. Oh, I am hungry. So there's a new fruit market, like it's called the Paradise Fruit Market near my house. They bought like a bakery, but it's super close, like walking distance, like 2-minute walk. And they have like a whole bunch of like fresh bread and fruits and vegetables and bananas, and so I'll probably walk up there and grab like a apple and orange and a banana and some bread or something. They have some really good apple cider too.
That's cool.
I love apple cider. That shit's good. We need to add Joel.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't gonna last. Yo, mind the assassin. What's going on, man? I just saw that. Things are going as good as they can. I am very tired, but we persevere and we push forward. How are you doing? It's good seeing you. That coffee is very hot. Dude, same here. Same here, man. Ah, yes. The liquid burn. The floor is made of floor. You know what? You right about that. It for sure makes me feel a little bit more alive. Dog, I have got to stop doing that. I am throwing this game. Also, comp looks cancerous today. I'm a little cancerous myself, so it makes sense. You know, it's fitting rather. What am I doing? Oh, what am I doing? Okay. I'm just going in thinking I have ult, and I'm not looking. I don't know why I should be frustrated. I know where, mentally, I know where I'm at. I just need to relax. What? Hmm. Hmm. I got lucky. Unironically, I really just got lucky there. Popped his bubble. Whoo! That was close. Calm down, Brad. We 100% should have gotten a strange TP, but...
Alright, and so our next project is one of our peoples is buying a rental property. A rental property, oh rental property, do 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 do. Are you even a current client?
I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I played so poorly that game. Oh my god. But they started to flounder. So it is what it is. Guys, I'm going to hop into another call. Start playing some ranked. If y'all need anything, just pop in, say hello. But I'm gonna be on comms playing games and whatnot, so I don't want to like just be too much air noise. You know what I mean? Nothing personal. So, but yeah, if y'all need me, y'all know where I'll be. All right, I love y'all. Be safe. All right. I need gum. But yes, comp is a little try hard today. People, you know, last day of ranked, last couple hours of ranked, to be honest. So people are doing the most out here. Hmm. Yeah, people are pretty rough. They don't understand that the harder they try, the harder it will be. Best way I can say it. That's the best way I can put it. right, let's regroup. Yeah, I mean, people get like what I mean by that is like people get toxic, right? Because they care and they are toxic to their teammates more than they're toxic to the people that they're playing versus, which is kind of like a indicative of how they see the situation. Like they think that their team is actually the one preventing them from climbing, not the person that they're playing versus. I don't know. I find that very interesting. But yeah, the more like the more you care in that sense, the more you're worried about that goal, the more like, you know, you lose focus on the actual what's going to get you there. My God. I don't mean. God, that was a really good like Mr. Fantastic though. To be totally honest.
Hello.
Mm. Ah. God damn, man. It's over. Yeah, that was not my best performance for sure. Hmm. Kyle, what's going on, man? But with all due respect, I was kind of set in my ways. I wanted to play that, and so I decided I was going to do that at any cost. My mindset was not to my mindset was not like what is the best thing to beat this team. My mindset was Squirrel Girl fits any situation. Or rather, I was like, okay, so we need to deal with Mr. Fantastic. How do we deal with Mr. Fantastic? And it's a very one-dimensional way of looking at things, I would say.
I can go Luna. Which one would you rather have? Uh-uh.
What?
Nice.
Hmm.
I'll change after my ulti.
Okay. What? Nah, that wasn't good.
She's low.
Yeah, I'm dead. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh. Oh my gosh, way over time. I'm so messing up. Okay. Let's see. Thursday, Lico NFT. All right, cool. All right, guys. About to oh, he's not on yet. Okay, cool. So I don't feel so bad then. Yeah. All right, cool. Mm. what am I doing? What's up? Okay. No. No. You're right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, it's not. Ooh.
New Airhead Sour Bars. They start sour, and they stay sour. Where to? Airheads have.
Well, I have messed up tremendously. All right. All right, guys. I'm rating out Claymore Gaming. Oh, man. I have goofed aggressively. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right. Y'all be safe.
Thank you, Hyde Broken Back Bread. Thank you, Hyde man. Welcome, my life man. Thank you.
Coloca o barquinho embaixo pra ele atacar.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem. Relax.
Clica no wave.
Ô, Teco, ele já fala e anda. Você já tá querendo
Deixa.
Fala e anda, porra. Não.
No problem, man. No problem.
Porra, os caras são muito exigentes hoje em dia, mano.
Mano, o homem já tem dificuldade
Relax, man.
só de fazer uma função só. Imagina duas, pô. Aí quebra.
O cara já fala e anda. Você, porra, é demais,
Ó, você tá o que também? Você tá exigindo muito de mim, tá, cara? Tá exigindo muito aí, tá? Eu sou pro play, cara. Sou pro play, pô. Respeito, tenho que focar no jogo porque eu sou pro play, pô.
Vou falar na fã, você é o pro play do Off the Grid, mano.
Pro play do Off the Grid, carrego todo mundo, cobro apenas uma taxa de 10 dólares pra carregar na partida.
Carrega tanto que eu falei, Claymore aí, cara, vamos fazer a quest aí do lado, cara.
Nice, man, nice. Nice, bro.
É verdade, o Clema, isso aí que você falou. Ontem eu só vi os caras elogiando o Off the Grid, mano.
Veio? Minha jogatina lá?
Movimentação ensaboada, tipo Tony Boy.
É, porra.
Tony Boy! É o Tony Boy do Off the Grid, pô.
Não sei nem que é Tony Boy, mas esse.
Isso é humildade, isso demonstra humildade, pô. Isso aí, tipo, você tá num nível tão elevado que os caras que tem que te conhecer.
Lógico, porra. Não, você acha que. Acho que é assim, é?
É o Tecnosh do Off the Grid. Pô, é o Anonymous do Off the Grid, porra. É isso, cara.
Marvel's Rivals Ranked?
Fica pra caralho.
Ok, man, God.
Ô, Clem,
Seems like a sweet fella.
conhece o Anonymous do PUBG?
Conheço, pô. Eu sei que é o nosso amigo aí, Noni. É.
Eu ia falar pra tu ver um vídeo lá pra ver se tu conhecia.
Alright.
Vamos jogar um X1, Clema?
Pô, eu não posso humilhar os outros profissionais da área.
Alright, we'll turn that off. And we'll pull this up. Oh, that's nice. Alright, All right. That's unfortunate. You know what? Yeah, I'll be back later. I gotta take care of some things, and then we'll keep this stream going. But until then, TTYL.